The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Gideon Block, a paladin of Daga, bringing her justice to the wilds of Ritoya.
I'm Konnor Shenold, and I play Konnor with a K, the Kobold Sorcerer who's finally out of the bag.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Zonimus Dinar, a roguish warlock controlling his fate with chaos.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Poppy Tealeaf, a highborn halfling druid who has forsaken her family for the call of the frontier.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Mokrin Stoneshaper, a young dwarf sorcerer wielding his arcane gifts to delve into the mysteries of the wilderness.
And I'm Ash King, your dungeon master. Join us now for Tales from the Callban Frontier. It's been a rough couple of days for you all. Slowly, you have made your way, as led by Dreaming Fox, back to the elven camp. You notice that they did seem to be in a time of transition, starting to pack things up to get ready to leave this area. However, this puts everything on hold as you approach the chieftain's tent. Dreaming Fox leading the way. Wildheart, who returned, steps forward, looking over the group and not seeing Gideon until Dreaming Fox gently approaches her and speaks softly into her ear, informing her of what has transpired. No. There is a sound unlike any you have ever heard in your existence. The mourning of a parent for a child is intense. It is painful, but the mourning that comes from an elf for their child, a being whom they are almost guaranteed to see live, it is unthinkable. As she moves to the cart, leaning down and taking Gideon's body into her arms, and it seems as if the entire community cries out with her. You are welcomed into their midst. You are welcomed into their mourning. As you knew Gideon, you were his friends, his companions, and so too they realize that you needed this time, that you need to be part of this. They will take Gideon, washing his body, dressing him in traditional elven wear before laying him out on a skin. Wildheart, you see her sitting with Dreaming Fox near where they have laid Gideon. One of their medicine men steps forward, and Wildheart allows them to cut the long, luxurious locks that she has grown over the course of her life, cropping it very close to show just how much she has lost.
Is all elves here other than us?
For the most part, yes. Maybe a few half-elves here and there, but all culturally elven. Iapix does seek you out, Zonimus, and he will stay close with you.
I'll tell his mother that I did not understand her son at all. Yet I understood him perfectly clear.
Thank you.
I've never known anyone like him. I never known anyone close to being like him. And never once did I catch him looking down at any of us. Well, we could have many times. I'm sorry. I walk away. And I'm looking for a drink.
There's a pretty strong one known to the elves. Tequila, basically.
I'm gonna get some and just... It's like, ever since we loaded his body up into the car, there's been this loud buzzing in Zonimus's head. And it's like, and without touching a drop to drink yet, it's like when he turns his head and looks a direction, everything is just blurry except for what he's looking at. He's aware that there's things around him, he's hearing voices, but it's like he's here and he's not. He's not avoiding Poppy. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know if he'd be the best person around her right now. Mm-hmm. But God, he really wants to see her.
This medicine man that had come forward, does he look druidy? I'm looking for a druid, and he seemed like a good bet.
Mm-hmm. He seems kind of to be more like a low-level cleric.
Did I see anybody else in camp either the first time we were here or this time that looks druidy? Or is it just me?
It's really just you.
So I want to go stand next to
Wildheart, who returned.
And kind of offer a little hand for holding.
You're small enough. She
scoops me, huh?
Yeah, it's she gets that sense of, with the way you and Gideon had interacted before, she gets that sense of how close the two of you were.
I just fold just like I did with Jubilee after Anarchy and kind of all of those feelings. I just cry for a little bit. We just need a few minutes.
She holds you. She's a mother twice over.
Oh, yeah?
So she holds you close and just lets you get it all out.
So after a little bit, I'm all cried out, feel a little bit better, look very cathartic. You know, my father's a bad man, and Gideon was a good man. And I know more than anything, Gideon loved being a father, the short time that he was. And I feel like, in some ways, he was happy of my childlike innocence. He could get to be that father. I know that he loved Karen and Caleb deeply, and I'm sure that eternity with them would be very pleasing to him, but I'm not ready for eternity without him quite yet, and I don't feel like it wasn't fair. It wasn't his time to go. I feel like Fortunato broke the rules, and you can't just give a man no chance. He had no chance to not die. He had no chance to fight back. He had no chance to make a choice that was taken from him. And I would like to give Gideon the chance to choose. And I feel like I could. Here's the thing. When Gideon said he'd talk to Daga, it was quite literal. She would talk back. She who weeps doesn't move like that. It's more of a feelings thing. But I feel like I could give Gideon's soul a choice. If he wanted to come back, he could. If he wanted to stay with Karen and Caleb and Dusk, he could do that. But I need a little bit of help. If Gideon chose to come back, I don't understand the magic, so I don't know what it would look like, but it would be his soul. But he would have to make the choice. But I need a little bit of help gathering some supplies. And I don't know, I'm hoping that maybe you know someone, because you seem to know a lot of people, and your people seem to know where a lot of things is.
Wildheart sits with you. She pulls apart just enough so that the two of you can look eye to eye. She gently rubs her thumb under your eyes to clear the tears away. She closes her eyes, seriously considering what you are offering. Because that's the thing. Yes, it wasn't fair. Yes, it seems as if Fortunato pulled the worst sort of trick. But even then, to most people, death is death, regardless of when or how it comes. But the words that you use, the fact that you focus on choice, she gives a nod and says, whatever you need.
Thank you. I'm gonna need 1,000 gold pieces worth of unctions and oils. I don't know if they would have everything that we need, but it is rare oils and unguents worth at least 1,000 GP, which the spell consumes.
Let me know when Makrin knows this.
Okay. Once she gives her okay, I would kind of leave her to, I would imagine she probably has her daughter and her mate close by and just kind of let them have some family time. And I would try to round everybody up, get on the walkie-talkie.
I know you can hear me. I would like to talk to you in our tent if you can pull yourself away from whatever you're doing.
And then go hunt down Makrin and Konnor and tell them the same thing.
Iopix, thank you. I'll be back.
He gives you a gentle nod. If there's anything I can help with.
You have, thank you. You have, thank you. I want to catch you before you get in front of everybody else and hand you the drink.
Sure, I'll do a shot with you.
No, just take it.
Oh,
And there's none missing.
adorable.
I haven't drank any of it. Just get it away from me.
Yep, I see it, and
Hand it to the closest warrior.
I believe you would enjoy this.
It eventually ends up back at Wildheart.
And I take your hand, and I come into the tent.
I pull you close and hug you and lose it.
So, Miss, I've already done did my crying. You're gonna make me cry again, and I'm trying to be real smart. Also, I cannot walk. When you have me picked, can we just?
I start walking, you're like up here at my chest.
Yeah, I know.
And in some blubbering mess, I respond to you, or I've already done my crying with, well, then it's my turn. You might be able to make that out.
Well, let's continue this. I need the tent, dude. I can't see anything. I can just see your vest.
Okay.
Our Konnor.
Stagger 2 or 3 soberly drunken steps and then just bend down, and I so badly want to say, do something. And there's this internal struggle going on to not put that on you. So he just pulls you up to your head up to his face and just kisses whatever lands in front of the side of your head. Then stands up and acts like it's all good and starts walking to the tent.
I'll still hold your hand though.
It's wet and gooey now.
I reach into my pocket and hand you my hanky.
You're not getting this back.
That's fine. I got this. So, Makrin and Konnor, do you show up in the tent?
Makrin is easy to find. He's been wherever Gideon's body has been all the time. And obviously there's been moments when even he has realized, I need to let the tribe and family have this spot. But then he's just been right outside the tent or whatever space is considerate, almost as a guard. And continually, my eyes have just been bloodshot, and he just has that look of like he can't stop crying. Sometimes there's not any tears, sometimes they're brimming over, but he's easy to find. He's almost been like on guard duty.
So I go and I find you and I take your hand in mine and I look up at you, and in Dwarvish I say, rocks don't move.
I look down at Poppy.
He'll still be here, but I have an idea, but I need your help. You can help him by helping me.
Yeah, he would want me to help you. He's speaking in Dwarven. I will go with you, Poppy.
And I hand you another hanky. We've had a lot of downtime. I've embroidered little flowers, little poppies on these hankies.
Konnor steps out from the shadows. He's been in a similar situation that Makrin is, not really willing to leave Gideon's body, but he has no concept of funerary practices for smoothskins. So just been kind of lurking around, not really easily spotted, but definitely there, and just kind of thinking about how one of Gideon's last acts towards me was to actually bring me back. And he's kind of feeling that kind of guilt of Gideon helped me in one of his last acts, but I wasn't there to actually help him. And so he hears Poppy talking to Makrin about, you've got like a plan or something. So he kind of pops out from the shadows and asks, what's this plan you got?
We need a little bit of private. Zonimus is in the tent. Let's go have a moment.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all in the tent.
Well, when you walk in, I'm standing by the door, flap the tent. When Makrin walks in, I just slide right in front of him, stop him.
Zonimus, I can't find his badge. It's not on him. I don't know where the dog... You is the worst. You had it the whole time.
Of course. Hey, today's about him. The next few days are about him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's for sure.
We'll get him, all right?
I just gotta find a way to connect deeper. I know I can do it.
Well, the next few days are for Gideon, not for you.
Right.
Not for me, okay?
Yeah, Poppy says she has some kind of plan.
She does. And I hand him the handkerchief Poppy handed me.
Now you have to.
Oh, thanks. Mine's kind of dirty.
That was mine.
So now that Poppy has a plan and has something that she can actionably action on, she's seeming a lot less mournful, and it may almost come across as rude. I don't know, like she's not appropriately sad, but it's a lot of deflection. She doesn't understand grief. Okay, listen. It wasn't fair what Fortunato did. Fortunato took... A man should have a chance to not die. So I'm going to give Gideon a choice. He's going to be able to make a choice. And he could choose to stay with Karen and Caleb, but I think that I can open the doorway for him to choose to come back as well. But I need a little help. I talked to Wildheart, who has returned, and she is willing to help and to have her people help, but you guys also might be helpful. I need 1,000 GP of rare oils and unguents, which I think is some kind of bomb.
Well, I don't know anything about onions, but we took all those spell components that were headed into the mesa. I know there's stuff in there.
See, I was a bear. I totally plumb forgot about that.
They're in our cart.
Well, I mean, I guess let's go look at this cart.
Okay.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
So we go over to the cart, and then I would like to just pop that box open.
Okay. It's a medium-sized box. Inside, you do find very sweet-smelling oils.
Oh, it smells good.
It's like an oil of wintergreen.
It smells like peppermint tea.
There's a wintergreen oil, a rose oil, lavender. So it's these very fine, sweet-smelling scents that are commonly used in the preparation of the dead.
Okay, guess I'll scoop those and then go find Wildheart again.
A dreaming fox is kind of standing guard outside.
Great.
He is Wildheart's, for lack of a better term, husband, partner. And so it's his duty. Gideon is her blood, not his blood.
Right.
But it is part of his duty to watch over her during this process. Mm-hmm. So he is the one who's standing guard and admitting people kind of in and out to the tent where she is and where Gideon is being kept.
So then I would just say to him, Mr. Dreaming Fox, sir, I asked for Wildheart's help earlier, but I don't think I need it. We had what we needed the whole time in the cart from those, you remember those bandits? Anyway, I can begin this ritual whenever she is ready.
He will give a nod and will quietly step into the tent. You hear quiet murmurs of conversation in Elven before he returns. He doesn't say anything, but he just opens up the tent flap and motions for you and whoever's with you to enter.
Oh, good. I imagine that's Thomas is carrying the box for me, so I'm not carrying this big box. So then I would like to sit next to Gideon, and I would like to... Is he positioned near the ground? Probably, I don't know if he's on the, but like I want to sit on the ground, but also be level.
I mean, that's really the thing, is that the elves, they're not necessarily big on chairs. They probably maybe have built up just a little bit of a platform so that he's not directly touching the ground, but if you were to sit on the floor, you would be level with him.
For sure, that's what I would like. And then I would like to sit near his left hand.
Okay.
And Gideon, let me ask you this. I always assumed, but I never asked. Do you have a wedding ring?
I do.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'd like to hold his hand.
Okay.
In both of my tiny baby hands.
Okay.
I don't know if this will work, and it's quite likely that Gideon will choose eternity with Karen and Caleb. He never had the chance to do that, but I feel like this might be more helpful if Gideon knows all of the people here who love him. So if I could get everybody who loves and cares about Gideon and who would like to see him come back, kind of sit and maybe, if you're comfortable, lay a hand on him or near him. And I just need you to think about all of the things that you loved about Gideon and think of your favorite memories and all of the things that you shared with him. And I'm going to see if I can't talk to him. I'm going to take a few deep breaths, and I'm going to take some of those oils and unctions and kind of rub on his hand, and it really starts to sink in that he is gone because his fingers are a little stiff at this point. And she's got some tears, but she's trying really hard. He'll at least have a choice. He'll have a choice. And I'm going to thank about all of my favorite things about Gideon. And I'm going to think about going to the carnival and how he lifted me up on his shoulders, barely known me an hour. And then think about every time that he was proud of me when I turned into the snake, and he was shocked but proud that I could do that. And when I summoned a polar bear, and when he saved Wildfire because he knew how much Wildfire meant to me. And when he was the last one, he wanted to make sure everybody got away before he left that Hydra. And when he ran up to Fortunato with no fear, with no hesitation, just because he knew that it was the right thing to do, and that he knew that Fortunato needed to be stopped, and that Fortunato was going to continue hurting Zonimus and Makrin. And I didn't know Karen, but think about the love that he felt and the loss that he felt when they passed, and the guilt, which then makes me also think about some of the guilt that I've seen on the faces of my friends on Makrin at his realization of his counterspell that he could have stopped. And Konnor, just the guilt in his eyes, and I don't quite understand that one. Konnor hasn't talked about it to me directly, but understanding that Gideon helped Konnor more than once, and Konnor didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to help Gideon. But then, how many opportunities did we have to help Gideon? He was very self-sufficient. And think about the little sister that needs him to be a role model for her, and about the fact that I need a person who loves me like Gideon, unconditionally and like a father. I'm going to try to use all of these feelings and all of these thoughts and these memories, and hopefully the power of the other people in the room thinking about him and their memories as well can help me kind of locate him in the
twilight.
void. Yes.
I'm going to quietly mumble, chatter, chant low, and prestidigitate ascend to the carnival, and then let that fade out and bring in the feeling of the breeze when we were standing outside the Temple of Nightmare, and he and I were looking up at Makrin and Poppy as they were crumbling the mountain to seal it. There's that breeze that washed over us, and as that goes away, the small low roar laughter of the night we all played poker at the ranch, and then bring it back to the carnival and start all over again.
Konnor reaches out and places his hand on Gideon's arm and lets his eyes kind of slip close, and thinks about how he first saw Gideon running around the last stop, just kind of making sure everything was going okay, everybody was fine after Wiley had been through. And then I think about how in the pillars of how when I finally stepped out from the shadows, Gideon was the first one to place his trust in me, not question my motives or anything like that. And then I remember how good of a warrior that Gideon has been this entire time, and just kind of the thought of him being struck down in this way just really gets to Konnor. And he thinks of the nights out by the campfires of Gideon trying to practice his guitar, failing the first night and then steadily getting it, and just kind of trying to concentrate on the trust that Konnor has always felt coming from Gideon.
Makrin's standing on the other side of Gideon's body from Poppy. She has one hand, and he has carried a couple of gems with him since the beginning. And he pulls out a sapphire. It's the same color as Gideon's eyes, and places it in his hand. And you guys can see the symbol of Dogga that's been etched into the stone. He's shaped it, and he closes Gideon's hand on it.
Very carefully, Wildheart, who returned, sitting at Gideon's head, very gently with some of the rose oil that you have brought, anoints his forehead, smoothing it over the planes of his face, relaxing them further, gently runs her fingers through his hair that she has lovingly combed out, removed all the braids from, just very gently working this oil into those fine golden strands. And she just very quietly says, "Child of my heart, if you must go, then go in peace. If you wish to stay, we will be here to welcome you again." And with that, Gideon, you wander in twilight. The peace of nighttime washes over you. But behind you, where the sun sets, you feel a gentle tug. Looking back along the path that leads to that sunset, you get the sense that there are people who wish you to stay. But looking forward, just a little way along the path, a little farther along than you, two very familiar figures stand. A lovely woman holding a little boy.
I feel the pull back behind me. I feel the people who love me. They want me to come back. But I'm wondering, could I talk to Karen and Caleb one more time before I make this choice?
Yeah, you can meander up the path. You get the sense that they are waiting for you, but that you would still have to agree to go. But as you follow the path forward, you see Karen, and slowly she turns to face you, and she gives you that smile, that beautiful smile.
Karen, I am ready to spend eternity with you, with our boy, because I can't think of nothing more that I would like to do. I remember when we used to go to the beach, and it was for you and for me and for Caleb. It was a big old sandbox. That's what I think eternity would be. You and I on the beach forever, watching him play. I'm not sure if I could feel comfortable being on that beach with you, with Caleb forever, when I know that I'm leaving behind a group of people who could really use me and use what I can bring. If I have that left behind, am I truly at peace with you?
She steps up to you, Caleb held in her arms. She gently reaches out for your hand. "Gideon, I've been waiting for you. I didn't want to leave without you. As soon as we pass into that twilight, we know nothing more than peace. We lay down all those burdens that the world lays on our shoulders. Don't you want that? I've heard some of the things that you've had to do. This is a chance, Gideon. Come with me, please. I'll wait for you, just as I have. But the night grows so long and so dark."
I need to talk to her. I need to talk to Daga.
Karen will give a little nod and she lets go of your hand, stepping back.
No, you're going to stay here. I hold on to her hand because she's going to be part of this decision too. I need to speak to the goddess.
You feel two presences join you. One on the path ahead, a pale figure, robed in darkness, dusk, goddess of the night, guide of the dead, keeper of secrets. Behind you, in the dying light, Daga, goddess of the day, keeper of order, champion.
My lady, this is not about guilt. It's not about fairness. Things happen. My death was inevitable anyway. Compared to the divine, I am just a speck of dust in the wind anyway. But I have friends back there who are giving me a choice to return. I feel like I should go back and help lead them, guide them, and especially as your champion. But I could just as easily give up. Just forget it. Just quit. That's not the way I was built, and that makes it a lot harder. So I am asking you what you think I should do, and whether... Yeah, that's just it. I swore myself to you. Does my service end now?
If you choose to return, you will still be my champion. If you choose to stay, I hold your oath fulfilled. And then dusk speaks. Gideon Block, champion of light, know that there is a price to be paid for denying me my due. Those who fight death who fight the natural order. Their souls are doomed to wander. This has been the way of the thing since the beginning. Should you choose to return to the world of the living, you will be beyond my help once you pass from this life. The choice is yours.
I feel like ever since I was a young man, I have been playing a game of chance with you, Lady Dusk.
Indeed you have.
And so do we continue the Danse Macabre, you and I, or do I surrender now?
You are the only one who can make that choice, Gideon Block, champion of light.
I look over at Karen and I say, I met my mother, and I told her at that time that I no longer had something just to die for, but something to live for. And I have never had a more difficult choice than what I have right now, because it's a choice of being with you now or finishing what I started.
So, to be clear, if he chooses to come back, he won't get Karen back when he dies again.
Yeah.
That's the price you pay for deciding to go back.
That I'd be just a wandering spirit. Lady, I was wondering for one favor from either Daga, Dusk, Dawn, Sneaky Coyote if he wants the help. I want to speak to them.
Daga and Dusk regard one another for a moment before they both nod. We will permit it. A few moments only.
I feel myself in the room, and you feel my presence there. And I say, my friends, I can feel you trying to pull me back. And I thank you for that gift, to know that I'm loved and I'm cared for here. But I'm gonna go home. I look over at Konnor and I say, you are the bravest little guy I've ever known. And you're going to do great things. And I know you're gonna do it here with them. Your kind isn't always smiled upon, but you will make a name for yourself. Don't feel any guilt. Keep being strong and fun and playful that you always have been. And I look over at Macron and I say, you've grown so much, my friend. You've become a stronger dwarf than I'd ever met in my life. You're powerful, you're strong, you're no longer a follower. You are a dwarf to be reckoned with.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, Gideon.
Don't.
I'm so sorry.
Don't. It ain't your fault. Nothing's your fault. Nothing's no one's fault here. Keep getting stronger. Keep digging.
Okay, I can do that.
I don't know which one to come to next.
Reach across and hold her hand.
Sodomus, I know you're more about things going crazy and chaos, but I gotta go home and I need you to lead them. I know that's not really the thing you like to do. I know it's more about you, but this is your time. You've gotta be the leader now. I need you to step forward. Poppy, I lost Caleb a long time ago. But you, just as much a daughter to me and a friend. I didn't ever think I'd have anything like that again. Your heart, your soul, it's so strong, it's so powerful. You are so beautiful. I know that you will one day crumble mountains. I know you will one day flood the valley. I do feel sad that I won't be there to see it, but I know you will. I'm also calling on you to be the leader of this party. You can do it, and I know you can. I'm sorry I gotta go, and I thank you for everything you've done to me, done with me, done for me. I get to go home now, be at peace.
I'm gonna kiss your hand. Say all I ever wanted was to give you a choice. And I'm glad that you have had the chance to choose, and you kiss that baby and hold him real tight for me, okay? I'll see you again, hopefully not soon. And I'm expecting that baby to just be ready to meet his big sister.
I personally don't care if I ever see you again. And I'll pull my jacket out and reach up, put that badge on my chest right over my heart, and pat it, and smile the biggest smile, warmest smile I can at you. And I'll walk over and put my hand on Poppy's shoulder.
Makrin steps around, grabs Konnor, and kind of moves him toward the others.
I don't care to see you again either.
All right. I look over. Dusk, my lady. My beautiful, beautiful lady. Let's go home.
The dance ends, and dusk sweeps you, Karen, and Caleb up into her cloak. And the next thing that you know, the next thing that you remember, is a sweet little cabin on the shore of the sea. A beach spread out in front of you, waves gently lapping at the shore. It's a new morning. You wake up, Karen is there with you, Caleb asleep between you, and there's nothing. No pain, no fear, no worries. Just a new day.
Sing me a song before you sleep. If you still know how, your head may hurt, your voice may squeak, but let me hear it now. Could not have been the man I am if you hadn't sung for me. So will you raise your voice again for what was and still may be?